Hold on.
We are live, young guys.
Hey.
Thank you for being with us. So great to see you.
I,
Wow,
I,
Fulton,
I
Jack.
think you want to say that we're still alive.
We're still alive.
That too.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So how are you, everybody?
Well, I'm still alive.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're still alive. Right? So
Every day
anyway,
above ground is a good day.
yeah.
Man, Nico.
Yeah. So
Wow.
all right. So this is it's been a while since I see Young Gan as a group. I've been having this kind of a chat, a lot of a one-to-one. Oh, Adam's here. Adam!
Hey,
Adam!
Adam.
Great to
Different
see you guys.
hairstyle.
long time no
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Right?
Awesome.
That's for sure.
Okay. Wonderful. So how about I know a lot of people here and knows other people, but not everybody knows everybody. So I think, how about we'll do a round of a short introduction, okay? Starting, Fulton is right next to me now, so these icons just shifts around. There's no any particular order, okay? So Fulton, could we start from you, please, dear?
Yeah, thank you, Ching. Good to see everybody. And Ching, let me know if you wanted me to do this in other languages as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can definitely do so. My name is Fulton. See a lot of familiar faces, and it's great to see everybody. Kind of just woke up, so also this is the first time doing something like this with other fellow Yang Gang in a while. I started getting involved with the New York City Yang Gang back in, and oh my goodness, it's been 1+ years. The time has really flown, but roughly around spring of 2019, I would say. It was before the New York City Washington Square Park rally that we had with the pouring rain. Because I think we all remember being scarred forever that day with the pouring rain. And I'm one of the volunteer organizers who first, got involved in New York City, and then that's when they transitioned to needing volunteers for the state. So I myself, along with other folks like Brian, Allison Ping, and Iggy. We helped initially with coordinating stuff on a volunteer basis through the New York State side, and then from now, what I do, I work at a nonprofit, a Chinese American nonprofit, and along on the side, I've been involved with some local issues, and that's very dear to my heart, and something that I feel like many Yang Gang members need to be getting involved with is local issues. So I'm glad to be here today. Thanks, Ching.
Thanks a lot. Sorry about that. All right. So our next person is Jack. Jack, can you please introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Hi, everyone. So I live in New Hampshire, kind of Yang Gang, New Hampshire. I got involved with Yangs, I want to say around August of last year. And once I got involved, I was like, I couldn't focus on anything else. I felt like I was like, it was like a cult group. I had to, then I found more people like me. I'm like, okay, this is real. But anyways, so I couldn't get enough of Yang, and even to this day, I think his principles are right on target. So I was mostly opened my house up to anybody that came. A lot of people like Ching came up from Iowa, Nick. Prior to that, I had a lot of Yang staffers staying with me as well. So I kind of opened it up, and so there were Yang staffers, Yang Gangs, and we had a good time in our house. It was definitely a memorable few months, and then COVID hit. But here we are. We're very close to UBI right now. But anyway,
And yet so far, Jack,
yes,
so far away.
Yes. I'm so sorry. But anyway, that's all. Yep, that's all I have.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Nice meeting you, Faye.
So Kevin, it's your turn.
I got it. Sorry, I had mute on.
I'm from New York. I'm Kevin. I'm from New York. Part of the New York Yang Gang. How did I get involved with Yang? Well, I kind of found out about Yang running very early on before the election got started, but I had him on the side as a side candidate until like I guess it was after Warren brought up her plan for like um, student loans, getting rid of student loans, that I got more serious with the election. And that's when Yang came back into the conversation, when I was like just looking through the candidates, and I gave him a chance. I listened to what he had to say and watched a bunch of different podcasts. I listened to a bunch of different podcasts, watched a bunch of different YouTube videos, and I formulated my opinion, and it was Yang, and I thought that Yang should be the president in 2020, or at least have a chance to run for president in 2020. So I started looking into how I could volunteer, and a bunch of events in like New York City popped up. So I attended it, and I was able to meet Ching, Fulton, Ron, and Yoon, Jay, and Nick in New York. So I know a bunch, and I met Jack Chan before when you came to New York once. Jack Chan.
Thank you. Thank you. Henry tried to get in, but he's having a hard time. I don't know. I'm still waiting for me. Henry's supposed to be here. Our youngin, from Florida, who won the primary. What do you call primary?
Oh, there you
Hello,
go.
Henry.
Hey.
Are you there, Henry? You look so serious. I can't hear you. There's no audio. Hi, Henry. Okay, let him fix that. Okay, so hi, Henry. How are you? Can you hear me? No audio.
I think there's latency issues.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think he's kind of
behind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not on the same plane as us.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay, so let's move on to Ron.
Hey guys,
Ron, it's your turn, please.
Hey, so I had heard about Andrew's candidacy early on. Thought of him as a novelty until the ideas started leaching into my brain, and it started to make more and more sense. And then the media overtly tried to ignore him or push him to the side, and that's when I said, well, that's unacceptable, because this has happened before. So I got more and more involved. And the first time I met Kevin was at some overpass event.
No, actually, we met before that. We met with Ching at that hotel for that.
Oh, the fundraiser
event in the what was that? In that cafe.
The fundraiser. The fundraiser at
cutting room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a wild night.
It was a fun one. I enjoyed that
story for what happened after that we'll talk about one day. Back when we're all
that was one
on
of
the
those
trail again.
That was one of those events that sold me on Yang. Sorry for cutting in, but
oh, it's fine. Ronnie Cheng was great. I had met him before that event, and I said, "Man, you should warm up for Andrew Yang." And lo and behold, he did. So I deserve something. I don't know what, but anyway, I was with the cult until New Hampshire, and then who knows where we're going after this. Does he have any plans to pursue any political office ever again? Do we know?
Well, I did hear that he was in talks with the Biden team. Well, at least they were hinting at some sort of cabinet position for him.
Oh, I think he might get technology assessment I was kind of hoping he would get Department of Commerce, because the world he's describing and he's prepared us for in his books is here now.
Exactly.
MGM Grand has laid off 18,000 hotel and casino workers. That's a lot of robot bartenders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. So, I continue to hang out here. Nobody else really seems to interest me in any way, in any profoundly intellectual way. So I'm waiting to see what happens next.
Yeah. Thank you, Ron.
Yeah.
All right. Next, how about Faye? Let's welcome Faye. She's
Faye.
from Texas.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Okay, so I am a single mom with a 6-year-old, and I live in East Texas right now. I have 2 older children that I never get to see. They're in Washington State. So a total of 3 boys. So I'm a homeschooler, more of an unschooler even. I don't like to use curriculum because I feel like the home environment is different than the school, and I shouldn't try to replicate it. Try to enjoy the world as teaching. And I also am a private tutor. So I have a student this afternoon I'm going to go to after this session. Yeah, and was there a question that we were supposed to answer, Ching? Because I'm sorry, I got in like...
Yeah, no,
minute
we'll
late.
just introduce ourselves, like say where we from or what we done for Young movement. Just a short intro.
Okay, well, the last thing I did was actually try to run to go to the National Convention, which is already over, the Democratic National Convention, as a delegate for Biden from my Texas Senate District 3. I didn't win my race, and I'm very happy with the person who did go. So hopefully I'll get a chance to podcast with her. But yeah, I'm really, I'm like going to be Yang forever. Me and my son, his name is Zephyr. The 2 of us have done every event together. We've traveled over to California, met some people over there. And I think I met Ching through Ling Luo, who is a wonderful director of politics. She's I guess the head of the AADC, the Asian American Democratic Club, which has something like 20 something chapters all across the country now, and she's very proud of that. And so Ching and I, had a conversation on the phone, and I think Nick might have been sitting next to her when we had that conversation. So I kind of met Nick that way.
Yeah,
And
we
then,
were canvassing in New Hampshire, and we were sitting in the car, right? It was like raining or something. It was like cat
That's
and
right.
dog. Or we couldn't go out to, canvass. It was so much rain or whatever. So we started to talk to Faye for a long time. It was so awesome.
That was primary
yeah.
day.
So
Yeah.
I'm involved with that. Going forward, I'm involved with Texas Humanity. I think it's Humanity Forward Texas is their name right now, and also I am doing the Yang Gang Report live on Facebook. So part of that group, you can find me there, and I'm also on the Yang Gang Roundtable podcast, which I encourage people to check out on Spotify or on Anchor. We're also on YouTube and Twitch. So,
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Adam!
Hey!
How are you, Adam? You look so different. What's different? Like you had a long hair
Oh,
or something.
I still have it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just tied back. But I don't have a beard.
Okay,
I guess I had a beard in
yes.
Iowa. That might be. I'm baby faced. Yeah. Hey everyone. It's great to meet everyone who I haven't met yet. I know Yoon and Nick and Ching from Iowa. I was there the entire month of January. I've been Yang Gang for, I guess, at this point, a year and 2 months, and was never politically active before. I always felt like, what's the point? And still almost, I want to say that now because things are so corrupt still, but with Yang and with all of you guys and with the momentum that we're getting behind these humanity forward candidates, like there is a point again, and an amazing set of ideas that would really solve things. So I'm in this for the rest of my life. Hopefully it doesn't take the rest of my life for us to get some of these problems solved, but I'm here for it. Just turned 25 last month.
Oh my God.
And I'm here in Southern California, so I may have met you, Faye. I don't know, but I've been at a lot of events out here.
I probably didn't meet you at a major event because I've been to this. I've met Eric Chen from the San Gabriel Valley, and I also met some people at Fullerton, Cal State Fullerton, which is more Orange County.
I was actually in Orange County. Just recently moved about 60 miles north. I'm here in Simi Valley. If any of you guys know where that is, but I was near Fullerton just until last month. But yeah, I didn't miss a Yang event. I was at the LA rally, the second one that he had, which was really lit, and the Long Beach it was in Long Beach. There was like this event where all the candidates were there, and Yang Gang outnumbered everyone else by.
Wow.
It was like 300 of us, where everyone else had maybe 10 people. It was insane, and I was at the Donald Glover pop-up, and it's just been a blast.
That's
and,
great.
Looking forward to the Humanity Forward candidates that are running here. We've got David Kim in California District 34. We have Erica Rhodes. I don't know if you guys know her, but I just got her bracelet in the mail today. So I'm donating whenever I can to whoever I can, whether it be in Tennessee or Texas. And let's just keep the fire going, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam. Great to see you. All right. So now Yoon and Nick, could we just hold on just 1 second of talk about ourselves, because I know Fulton has to go. He has another call. So Fulton, before you go, would you like to say something, cover some issues before you leave us, please?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Yoon and Nick. I'm sorry, I got to take up your intro time. I'll do an intro for you. I'm just kidding. But I feel like the first time Nick and I met, we met at the Times Square event.
Wow.
And that was a blast. And Yoon got to know a long time, just through a lot of activities that we've done where there weren't a lot of volunteers. And, that's just part of the process that, may not be the fun parts during the whole process. Those events that, are scrappy, but involve, 3 or 4 volunteers, going up to random strangers on the street. And, early on when I introduced myself, that's what I emphasized, that now I think beyond the candidates that Humanity Forward has, we also got to be involved with local issues and expand our sphere of influence and network with the community around us. And that's something that I've been doing. At least I was pulled in because I saw that no one was responding to it. The same way Andrew Yang was saying, yeah, he saw no one was speaking out about automation, so he felt compelled to do so himself, just because other candidates did not have a response. For me, what's happening in my local community is that there's a big transportation issue happening in the area of Flushing, Queens. And basically, the Department of Transportation here, along with other transit advocates, want to push for something that's very ideal and by concept, on paper, is very good. But I don't know how in application it will work out. And we want to, as a community, be able to have dialogue and have that process of community engagement and express those concerns. But unfortunately, members of the community are not being heard or being properly considered for their feedback. And especially when it's a case when you have an area where I'm based out of, where it's many of the folks are immigrants coming from households that are multilingual. That becomes another issue that we need to provide that and hold these city agencies accountable and local community leaders accountable for providing language access and making sure that there's actual connection and bridging with the people. So when you have policies that are taking corporate financing, out of politics, when we have democracy dollars, when we have human-centered capitalism, that's, we need to think beyond economics, but also how, as a democracy, it could be centered around people. And so, thank you for the time again, Ching. Thank you for having me. Sorry I cut you both off, Nick and Yoon. It's a blast seeing you two again.
Thank you. Thank
Nice
you so
meeting you,
much.
Fulton.
Yeah,
Same
Fulton.
here.
Yeah,
Thanks, Fulton.
Fulton is always.
again.
Fulton, this is Zephyr.
Hi,
Zephyr's my
Zephyr.
6-year-old.
Hi,
Hi, hi, little young gun. And I want to add something about Fulton is he's done so much, and I see him everywhere. From teaching me how to do what do you call calling people, pesting people, all those things, phone banking, to all the major events. He's always there, and yet he's always kind of low key. He I sometimes say, would you want to talk to me? Would you want to talk to my camera? I already did. It's so funny. So I just wanted to say, Fulton is, he's a type of person, always do things and then kind of shied away with getting credits. I that's how I feel about Fulton. So thank you so much, Fulton. You're so young and doing such a wonderful job. Very, very, happy you are on our team.
Yeah, one last plug, and I sent this to Kevin. And this whole time I've been behind the scenes complaining with Kevin how the local city agencies are not hearing about the community. So if anyone wants to see how that takes place and want to join in on what a community call looks like, I can drop the link for they're having a community feedback call in a week from now, and it's going to be in both English and in Chinese interpretation, Mandarin speaking, for the community here. But I'll post a link. You should join in and see exactly how that process takes place and see how they implement the feedback they get, which essentially there is no implementation of that feedback. And that's how, those are the flaws of the current system that we have that we need to change. But thank you again. See you all later.
Yeah. Bye, Fulton.
That link.
Bye, Fulton. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Bye,
Jim.
Fulton.
I'll send the link. Yeah, Jack, I'll send the link.
So
Thank you.
Fulton has to go. His comment actually remind me of Kevin, Lou, and I. We cooked this whole meeting together. Thank you, Kevin, for your input. And Kevin also had a great idea. He wants us to say our
Sorry,
name.
I did not hear it.
Oh, I just said Kevin has cooked a meeting with me. Us 10 of us meet today. He actually is one of his idea. He wants to talk about Asian American issues. So he also has another idea is that he wants us to talk like say I am Ching Juhl, right, in English, and then I say it in my own dialect. Okay, so can we do this in a turn? Just starting me, I do it, and then Fulton does it, and you can
Wait.
Huh?
Pause.
What?
Can I ask you guys a question? Is it me?
Yeah.
Or
What are you talking about? You? Are you listening?
I think his connection got lost a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well,
we're
it's
going to do this thing about say, my name is Ching Juhl, right? That's in English, but then I say it in Shanghai dialect. So because we all have our own sort of language. Maybe Nick can say it in Spanish or something, and then maybe Jack can say it in Taiwanese, and then Faye can say it in Taiwanese.
I'm a Mandarin.
Yeah, you're Mandarin. Oh, okay.
Mandarin.
All right. Should we try?
I can do French if you prefer.
Okay. And then Yunjin, maybe you can say it in Korean. Okay. Shall we start? Ready? Okay. My name's Ching Juhl. 我的名字叫不对 ，sorry, that's Mandarin. 我的名字叫沈庆。Fulton, you still there?
Yeah, because my call's at 4:30. I got 4 minutes. 我的名字是 I'm Fulton. 我的名字是 Fulton. 侬好，朋友。
He said, hello.
Hello, Zhang
All right, Jack, your turn.
My name is Jack Chen. 我是陈家杰。
陈家杰. Okay, Kevin. Kevin, I can't hear you.
Unmute.
No.
You're muted. You're muted.
You're muted again.
okay, am I lagging? Because I think my thing is lagging.
You're fine now.
Yeah,
You're fine now.
very good.
Okay. I'm Fujianese. We see who tonight. We ha Lao Kai Ung.
What did you just say?
I just said I am Fujianese.
He's from
I am
Fujiao.
Yes. Liu Kevin.
Oh, Liu Kevin. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, Robin, your turn. Oh,
Hey,
my
my name is Ron Ing. 我個名係吳錦廉啊。
Awesome.
Hmm.
Nick.
I'm Nick
Nico.
Rivera, and to say it in a Spanish way, Nicolas Rivera.
Very nice. All right, then how about Yunje? We'll go this way.
Okay. So my name is Yoon Jae. 제 이름은 이윤재입니다.
Nice. Nice.
And I'm from Hell's Kitchen.
Adam.
Hell's
in
Kitchen.
Italian.
You guys can skip me. My name is Adam.
No foreign language.
I can't.
Okay.
I can do it in a British accent, but that would be really
No. Okay, Faye.
My name is Faye Ku, and 我叫顾欣怡。
Beautiful. Thank you. Henry. Henry, welcome, Henry. He has some internet problem. Are you with us?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know another language other than English?
No, I know. My name is Henry Dewhart, and that's all I got. I went to the Florida public school system, so no bilingual.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. So Henry
Join the
has
club.
Henry just joined us. At 4:30, you know who is supposed to join us is the boys from Texas. The what do you what do you call minds?
Mindful skeptics.
Oh boy, he's from Michigan, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Michigan.
not in Texas. I'm in Texas.
Oh, why do I think he's
Yeah,
in
Michigan.
Texas?
He's in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's from Michigan.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe he goes to different states. So Henry, so you just got in right now, and I'm not gonna make you cut the line. We were at the. I think we were Nick supposed to talk about, or Yunje supposed to talk us. Okay, how about we start with Nick, since now you are like upgraded, you're on the top now.
Yay!
So tell us a little bit. I think a lot of people knows you, right?
I think so. You know, on Twitter, people know me. Facebook,
Yeah.
friend list,
Really?
friends list grew exponentially since joining the Yang Gang. You know, it all goes back to the rally in New York City. That was fantastic. May 14th, 2019, and it was just full steam ahead from there. The Basic Income March. That's when we really met Ching. And also we protested at Times Square and at NBC also. That's when we were really formally introduced. And that's how I got to see Ron, got to see Kevin,
right.
You know. And Jack in New Hampshire, he took good care of us, the best. Adam in Iowa, and Yunje. I did see you at the protest in front of NBC, but formally introduced.
I was the
later
mock
on.
Yang, remember?
You were the mock Yang.
Oh, he
The
shows
dollar
up.
bills. And Faye via phone call with Ching. And Henry, I met him in New Hampshire.
Wow.
Yeah. Humanity forward. That's
Yeah.
the next step. You keep the
Right.
keep the fire burning. Yep.
Right. So, who is here? I'm gonna bring him out, boys. Hi, boys.
Hey there, how you guys doing?
Hi.
Hey, boys.
Yes,
Hi,
we're
boys.
still. Kevin, where did you go? I lost Kevin for a while. So, boys, we have been introducing ourselves. We haven't even finished introduction, you know. So, but it's good. So, are you done, Nick? Nick?
Yes.
Are
Yes.
you finished?
That's
Okay,
it.
Thank you so much. So, can we move on to Yunje, please?
Okay, I'll just make it really quick. I think I know everybody. I met almost everybody here, but my name is Yoon Jae. I'm a musician. I'm a conductor and a pianist. You see me with the piano in the back. And I kind of got into Yang because I sort of follow politics, but I never really got into it, you know. And I actually found Yang very, very early on in April of 2018. I saw a Facebook ad saying Andrew Yang for president 2020 or something like that. I said, I was Asian guy running for president, Yang, who is this? And so I clicked on the ad and I didn't know what to expect. And then I saw this, I came to this website, we had all these policies. I said, oh my gosh, this guy is really serious. And I spent a lot of time looking at it and I said, okay, I better keep this guy on my radar. I never heard of him. And then he did one event in June of 2018 at this club downtown, and I got to go. And you know, this was before the Yang Gang and everything, and there was no math or anything. He was just running, and it was very, very low key. But there were about 100 people there, and he came, and I got to speak to him afterwards, and I asked him a question. I asked him, like, what would be a policy towards, like, arts and culture, because, you know, as a musician, like, no politician ever talks about that. And he did mention that he played some piano, which I thought was pretty interesting, and he didn't really tell me how good he was. But then he said how, like, he talked about how UBI could be very, very beneficial for, like, artists. And then I had heard about the concept of UBI, but I never took it seriously. And then, so I said, okay, I better keep this guy on my radar. And then in 2019, I started seeing, like, all these, like, you know, shows pop up, like, you know, and I started following all these people on YouTube and reading all these articles. And then finally in July of 2019, I was really into Yang Gang, but I kept just doing things on my own. And I said, you know what, if I sit here on my butt, you know, watching these videos and, you know, reading articles, it's not going to do anything to get Yang elected. So I better do something. So I went to the Yang 2020 website, see what events there were. And there was a second Democratic debate. And so I went to a watch party, and that's where I started to, like, meet people. I first met Fulton there, and then I signed up to do, like, canvassing, and it kind of snowballed from there. Did as many New York events, and then of course we eventually went to Iowa with Ching and Nick, and that we were all a team of canvassers, and it was so much fun. I also met Adam there. I unfortunately didn't get to go to New Hampshire, but I did what I could in Iowa. So yeah, and now I'm just all about humanity forward and trying to, you know, I think the most important thing for me was that, like, Yang actually changed my outlook on life. I'm a much more happier person. I believe in the, you know, mindset of abundance, not the mindset of scarcity. I do believe that we should and can work for a better world. Yeah, so I'm definitely Yang Gang forever.
I totally agree with you on that. He changed me forever.
Yeah. Great, thank you so much. Let's see, Henry, it's your turn now. Henry. Yeah. Now we can hear you. Henry, can you give yourself a little bit more light? Is it possible? I'm sorry, I don't really mean to make you get up. Never mind, it's okay. All right.
No, this is all Florida gonna give me today. The Florida sun is a little damper. And then these little shields on the lights, so I thought it'd be brighter. I actually had to make a pit stop.
Yeah.
I've just been running around all day because I'm running for office here. So my name is Henry Dewhart. I was a field coordinator or an organizer for Andrew Yang in New Hampshire for about 4 months, where I stayed with Mr. Jack Chin, the best hostess I've met on the Yang Gang. And so I stayed up there with Jack and everybody else who were working on the campaign, and it was cool outside of the snow. It was an experience meeting everybody and meeting all these new Yang Gangers who, I mean, for me, Andrew Yang also kind of like changed my outlook, but also he kind of maybe helped me to realize how other elements of myself I never even thought of, you know, things that I, you know, like human-centered capitalism, which kind of like hypnotized me to think things that way, to you know, calculate how good we are based off of human value and how our families are doing and our people are doing, not off of the dollar. And other things that he stood for, I think really helped molded me. the first thing I did after getting back, I was actually running for office working for Andrew Yang. I knew I would have to leave soon, and I left like in February, but now I'm running for office here in St. County, and I'm now the Democratic nominee for the Democratic Party for our county commissions. So we won by a very big margin here in my community, almost 50%. So, and I'm a Yang ganger. My campaign team is right now hopefully getting the endorsement from Humanity Forward, and also creating a county UBI where, for me, post-COVID, I think we need to figure out how do we help the local entrepreneurs and business community. So we want to create a UBI through the interest funds that we've accumulated as a county. I want to turn that into a UBI for business owners. So if you're a resident in our county and you own an LLC or a business, we would use this investment funds that we get. We've calculated maybe $47 million in investment funds. Basically, they take your tax dollars and they invest it. So this is money we didn't expect to have, and I want to take $1 million or $2 or $3 and pick a couple of people in my community who own a business and to give them maybe a year or 2 years of a business UBI to help them with their lights, or to fix that mold issue, or to fix whatever in their local facility. So that is how I'm adopting UBI to my county race, because UBI works in the municipal race just as much as it does on the national level. And I love UBI. I love Andrew Yang. I hope I get his endorsement. But, you know, just being a part of Yang Gang has definitely changed my life, to know that there's other people out there who think like me and also don't think like me. That's the beautiful part of the Yang Gang. It's so diverse. But we all work so well together. I used to look at Jack sometimes, be like, Jack, like what? I'm like, I think the Yang Gang is somewhat of a cult. He's like, yeah, it is, right? Well, you know, I love this person. It's so crazy. Like, you know, I mean, it's not, you know, he's Asian American, and he like, I'm an African American, obviously, right? I'm an African American man, but the first person was Andrew Yang. I didn't care about anybody else. I didn't care about Harris. I didn't care about Cory Booker. I didn't care about the establishment. All I cared about was like Andrew Yang. And I think that speaks volumes. And I saw that man do some great things. I saw young people come out to those events. Like, there were kids who pulled their parents to these events. So I never seen no political person do that before, inspire young people like that. So I hope I can continue on and bring that Yang Gang to St. Lucie County and represent my county and my constituents and my fellow Yang Gang family to the fullest. On November 3rd, elect Yang Gangers.
Yeah. Yeah. So what a great achievement. You know, you worked really hard, Henry. Yeah. So, okay, now we are, welcome more people coming. This is the first time I do this with 10 faces, and then sometimes people need to leave, and then we invite more people. So boys, it's your turn now to tell us a little bit about yourself and your agenda, please.
I've had a pleasure. Yeah, I just unmuted my mic. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I've had the pleasure of meeting some of you guys in person, mostly in Iowa and LA. I think in Ohio. Let me think. Wait a minute. I haven't got to meet you guys anywhere in person, technically. Damn it. That sucks. So we're going to do something about that later. But yeah, so I'm Boyce Littlefield. I'm the host of the Mindful Skeptics podcast and the co-founder of the Trickle Up Network website. And, you know, I just hit the trail and really go to Iowa several times and knocked on doors and go to LA, Ohio, you name it. I went there as best I could with my resources I had available. And I'm still doing it. So if anybody is a writer, if anybody is making content, I will share it on the Trickle Up. And I definitely want to talk to Ching about that more in the future too, because she's one of the OGs from the very first day. So I actually do my research. I think Ching actually might have had a video before me, which is pretty tough to do. So I made my first Andrew Yang video in February of 2019. And I think, Ching, you were at the New York thing. That was like December or something. Anyway, but you've been doing it for so long. I think you deserve more credit for all the work you've been doing in New York and all those great videos and, you know, street stuff, you know, live streams. I love those. Seeing the people in the community, I really appreciate that stuff personally.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Kevin, can you get yourself a little bit more light on your face? Because it's Kevin Liu.
No.
No light. Okay. All right. How about the next person? So the next person is Diane. Diane, please introduce yourself, Diane. Hi,
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
I'm
Diane.
Diane. I'm Diane, but a lot of people, like at least half of the people here I've met in person, and we've done stuff together. So I don't really feel like I need to introduce myself, but just in case, I worked on the basic income march. We put together the basic income march last year, so I worked with a lot of people on that. And as anybody who was there knows, it was, we were pretty happy with how it turned out. It was pretty great, and that's largely because of all the people that put in time and effort. And of course, we definitely wanted to do another march this year, and we realized that COVID was going to change the way we could get together this year as opposed to last year. So I'm, in addition to planning, being part of the team that's planning the march, I'm also a social worker in New York, and a lot of why I believe in UBI comes from what I've seen in my work as a social worker. So I've seen a lot of proof firsthand that it would be a lot more expedient, respectful, and dignified, and also cheaper to give people money to solve their immediate basic needs and stop with all of this colonial retrograde stuff that just costs a lot of money. And, it makes people feel very bad about themselves. I am completely against means-tested programs, and that is why I'm for UBI, the short version. Yeah, so I am looking forward to seeing all of you September 19th. If you're all in New York on September 19th, we're going to have a bike parade for UBI, and it's going to be great. So, if you are interested in coming to the bike parade and you haven't already signed up, you can go to basicincome.march.com, put in your zip code, and it'll pull up the New York event. And you can also get information about other events, because there's going to be a lot of other events this year, that same week, celebrating progress in the UBI movement. And of course, you guys are a large part of that progress, right? So it only makes sense that you be part of all of those things.
Great, thank you so much. So now, don't let me forget. Later on, after we talk, I'm gonna have all our names in the description, and if you don't mind, if you don't want to be there, then just let me know. So, and then also I would like to put your important information. For instance, like if you have a website you want to talk about, or even if it like Adam is a musician, so it can be just a young thing or your own personal thing. So whatever the social media information you want me to list it, and you just let me know, and then I update onto the description of this post, right, for today. So let's see, I'll do quickly. We're about intro myself. I actually, my first profession is a musician. I play the viola and I teach violin viola, and I study music seriously for first 30 years of my life, I guess. So but about 15-20 years ago, I started to be more interested in doing media stuff and videotaping. I hear some noise. So I started to shoot a lot more, and then I went to school to learn how to edit, how to produce, how to do the whole spiel. And then so ever since that, I've been produced a lot of shooting a lot of videos. And for Andrew Yang, I would say I did about more than 120 short films following him around. Yeah, and we went to Iowa, and we went to New Hampshire. Yeah, so Jack was our host family. He's so generous with his wife Laura, And so I met so many amazing people during this whole journey. My life is basically turned upside down since Andrew Yang movement, I think, because I'm never this active in campaign or election. So I'm not never this active. So this brings me a great joy to meet people who I would never have chance to meet. Yeah. And then to do things and to be brave and to just, going out there. And so anyway, thank you so much for being my friend and being young again. And so let's see. Did we all introduce ourselves now?
I think so.
Kevin, at the very beginning of this our meeting, is Kevin actually has an important issue. But before we do that, how about we do it's already almost 48 minutes after 4. I invited Adam, I invited Yunjie to play something for us. Should we do a little bit of music just to loosen up? How about that?
Yes.
Who wants to do first? How about Adam?
I want music.
I recommend it.
Yeah, shall we? Yeah, and you can also, volunteer, right? You can sing and you can dance for us too. So how about we hear some music from Adam now, and then we hear some music from Yunjie later. Yeah.
Put me on the spot.
Yes. You're the baby. Are
Yeah.
you the youngest one? Are you the youngest one in here? Is how does Kevin? Kevin, you're 24 or 25? Kevin is
I'm
honestly
24.
Oh, you're
I am
youngest.
on mute
Oh, you
because my mom is watering the plants in the back. So
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So you're the little baby, and then Adam is the second youngest.
The second baby.
Second baby.
Yeah, I actually have a class. I'll probably have to cut out in about 15 minutes.
Oh no! Oh,
and it's a performance class, so I'll be warmed up for it.
Mm-hmm.
How does it sound? Can you guys hear?
Well, internet is always a little kind of like
Would
that.
it help if I took out my headphones, maybe?
I don't know.
Oh, probably not. You just hear yourselves.
Yeah, it's okay.
We hear you just fine, Adam.
Play
Even without the headphones.
Play something lower register.
Lower register. All right. I don't know. I don't know what that'll be, but I'll play you an original. One, two, three. Picture yourself apart from all in this world today. Oh well, okay. Capture a dream without a wink of sleep tonight. Alright, tonight. You ought to know there's no pain, there's no trouble, just 1,000 miles of rubble, and it's killing me with each cup of tea. There's no tension or no friction, just your big bad addiction with Mary Jane on a higher plane. Whoa. Summer and winter both fall into a spring towards an end. Oh, how bleak. The ocean and space both land right next to a beating heart. And a mortal one if it's torn apart. So who do you wanna be? Ooh, the answer's clear. come to learn there's no pain, there's no trouble, just 1,000 miles of rubble, and it's killing me with each cup of tea. There's no tension or no friction, just your big bad addiction with Mary Jane on a higher plane. Oh. Ooh.
Bravo,
Beautiful, beautiful, very nice.
Are you going to be singing that at the performance class later?
No, I'm gonna sing probably the song that I played for you guys last time we had a chat a couple months ago. And normally, me and my buddy, we sing harmony on that. So you guys only got really half of it. It's much more rich with two voices and
It was great.
complicated harmonies.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you make a recording, send us a link or post it somewhere. And
Oh, we have a recording. Yeah, I'll send it to you guys for
Yeah,
sure.
send us the link. I'd love to listen to it. Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Man. Same.
Yeah. So yeah, by the way, don't forget when you leave later, okay, or just today, when we finish this, you guys give me all your links, like whatever you want to put out there, let us to know, okay, like your YouTube channel name or whatever, or your website, or anything has to do with your profession or Yen stuff. I welcome all of those. And by the way, we have some, I think we may want to take care of some of people's comment. How's that? Because a lot of people are joining us and watching us, right? I want to thank some people. MUDIT, muted. How about I give you this job to Nick? Nick, I don't know how to pronounce some people's name. I'm terrible. Muted Vermont. Can you flip to all the way to the beginning?
Yeah, all the way to the beginning. I'm looking for the first question.
Yeah,
Rich Ann Haxton.
No. The first person said hello is muted Vermont.
Vermont.
Oh,
yeah.
Muted Vermont. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. And then we have CHHAY, Channy. Right? Thank you so much. Oh, you can see very well, right? So then we have a real boxing news. Trump supporting. What does that mean? Supporting Trump? I don't understand. real boxing news. Okay, then I'll do it. If I don't pronounce your name correctly.
Trump supporting Yang.
Oh,
Yeah.
Trump supporting Yan. Oh, okay. Oh, we have a Trumper for Yan. Actually, sometimes he visits my channel. Yeah.
Yes.
And then anybody is asking questions. Thank you, Richardman Haxton. Julia here's for Yan. Hi. Julia said hi, beautiful people of the young and Trump was just in my city. Oh, how I was Yan instead. Oh, she said, oh, can all of you see the statement?
Yep.
Oh, okay, you can. Okay, all right. Hi, Rich. I said, all right. I can only imagine, Julie, how that would feel. Oh man. So let's see. Anybody have any questions? I ask you how to join into video chat group as well next time. This is complicated, so I can talk a whole hour about how to. Oh, you mean this person want to join us? Is that what?
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Oh.
For next time. So they have the link.
Yeah, I'll have to give you a link. I don't know if can do this in the middle of the talk. I don't know. Maybe I could. Yeah, you have to give me your email. Anyway, let's see. Al is always there. ALJAN with this, Jesus figure. Do you see that person?
Yes,
He's always there. Thank you so much, Al. Yeah. All right, Julie. Thank you, Julie. Thank you.
I have a question.
Did you see
Do
that
we
question?
see any questions?
Yeah, Julie here for Yang. I have a question. Do we think the Yang gang is much smaller than we all originally thought? That's
I think so.
Questions. Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just say, I think we're small but very, very active, and it amplifies our
Yes.
voice. But I think in terms of the general population of America, it's not there yet. We're still growing.
Small but passionate and growing.
Yes. Yes.
Going
Early
forward.
adopters.
Yeah.
I'm personally growing this way during the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, I
COVID-19.
COVID.
you know, I want to just to the question of whether the Yang Gang is smaller or larger. I would say that at this point, you know, Income Movement, which is the group that is putting on, you know, or heading up all of the events that are going on for International Basic Income Week, I would invite anybody that is listening to get involved in Income Movement, because although not everyone that is in Income Movement had necessarily, well, now Andrew isn't running anymore, right? But Income Movement is in my view very successfully building the movement that Andrew wanted to have continue when he left the race, and it's doing a really great job. So to the extent that people are listening who are looking kind of for, you know, how to you know, grow the Yang Gang, basically the way to grow the Yang Gang is to get involved in Income Movement. So I would say try to have a look at incomemovement.com and see, you know, what we're doing there, and strategies and ways to help, and definitely come out. You know, we want to have a lot of people at all of these events all over the country. So it would be, you know, just great if we could get people aware of and turned out for these events. We already have 33 cities doing events, including New York.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to jump in here. So I'll say that I just talked to shit, can't remember her name now. The lady from the Income Movement. Damn, it was just like 2 days ago.
Stacy
Yep.
Stacy?
Seriously, shit. I'm sorry, guys.
What state is the person in?
Welcome to the club.
Stacy for sure. But
Stacy
yeah,
Rutland.
yeah, and I shared all your guys' news and stuff to the. If the big thing is there's none in the Midwest, like close to Michigan, like within like 150, 200 miles. So I'm hoping someone does one in Chicago or maybe South Bend, Grand Rapids, Michigan, or Detroit, because there's none. So I'm trying to get people to host them. So I just don't have time for that shit, you know. But I'm hoping somebody in the area, because I went to the one last year in Chicago. It sucked, but we did it. It was cold and rainy in Chicago. New York was.
I heard you had pretty severe weather. Yeah.
Yeah, we had horrible weather. But it was one of those things where you bond with people through suffering, you know. So you really made a really good close-knit group, you know, from that experience, because we stuck it out, and we're not the fair weather fans, you know, that, oh, it's a sunny day, I think I'll go. No, it's rainy and terrible, and we still did it. So I think it's a big deal too. But I'll say, as far as the Yang Gang goes, it's not as big as we thought it could be. I think it's bigger than we thought it was at the time. Because right now, because of the Income Movement, because of the trajectory Scott Sampson is on, he's really catapulting into the mainstream. And I think with him, the Income Movement, of course, spearheading most of it, and all these other discussions of universal basic income around the world. This ain't an American problem. This is a world problem of poverty. And so I think they just announced today in Germany they're doing one. So the Income Movement worldwide is going to help the Yang movement in 2024 significantly. So I think that's, like Diane was saying, that's huge. We can't go there, so we have to do what we can in person, which is these Income Movement marches or hosting an event. I think there's something we should do to strategically start getting a plan of how to reach local media, to say, okay, if you're going to do an Income Movement march in a smaller area like a South Bend, Michigan, we should have a way of getting in touch with people, these radio stations that can just say, no, we're going to be out here. Here's some good coverage, some footage. It makes their job easier. You know, like everyone's just looking for a story, something different. And I think that's stuff we can do as a network to network, maybe a Google Doc that says if you're in these cities, these are the people we need to reach out to that are connected, if you will, or at least have a rapport with some of us or rapport with each other within the system, and hopefully help get more publicity. So it's all about name recognition. That's huge. We all saw it during the campaign. Joe Biden didn't set foot in a state, and he still won it. You know, so we need Yang and the income movement to be a household term. And I really think that starts with media.
Working on it.
Yeah, and I think
And
that
don't let
some
it
of these.
discourage you. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, real
Go
quick,
ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think that some of these humanity forward candidates that are winning their primaries is a really good indicator that the movement is growing, and something that we can put the same energy we had behind Andrew himself behind these candidates. And I mean, that's definitely keeping me enthused about the movement, as well as all the great work you're doing with income movement, all of that.
Well, just real quick, guys, at 6 o'clock, I'll have to jump off before 6, but at 6 o'clock is Donna Imam, Andrew Yang, and Julian Castro's Fireside Chat at 6. I'll be live on my podcast as well. So it's going to be another, all the donations during my live stream goes to her campaign. We need to
Great.
Keep supporting people. Like you said,
on your channel? On where, dear boys?
What's that?
You said 6 o'clock on where?
Oh, 6 o'clock Eastern. It's
yeah. No, where? Yeah, like what media?
It's streaming online. So I'm gonna I'm gonna stream it on the Mindful Skeptics podcast. I'm gonna stream it.
Okay. So I can see that on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So come back to we were talking about several times about the issue of Kevin, you lead the conversation. You want to talk about Asian American prejudice? I can't see you. Go up a little bit.
Wow, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Can you
can
hear me?
you make yourself a little bit taller?
What is wrong? I'm so sorry. I am sitting on my bed because my computer come in. But little issue with delivery. So I don't have my computer yet. So I'm sitting on my bed, talking to my brother's Surface. So, and it's having internet connection problems. I'm guessing it wants to behave differently today.
I can hear pretty good.
But
yeah, good. You're good now. Yeah.
But what was the question, Juhl?
The question is, you brought up this subject of Asian American prejudice.
Yes. So I've been pressuring Juhl. No, not really, but I've asked Juhl to allow me to have a platform where we could have a dialogue about like Asian American prejudice, the myth about the model minority, and just in general that us Asian Americans, as we can see in our earlier introduction, even us Chinese people, are not a monolith. We have, we speak more than just Mandarin. We have multiple dialects. We speak more than just Chinese. We're not all Chinese, and we're not all yellow, or that's the term that they want to use. We're not all light skinned. And sometimes people get confused when they're like, when we talk about like, let's say Indian Asians, south, will they be Southeast or Southern Asians? And sometimes I would call them Asians, and people will be like, no, they're Indian, but India isn't Asia technically. So, and Faye just used the term. What is it? How you pronounce it? Desi?
I don't know. I see it all the time. Daisy?
Yeah. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to discuss today on this this talk.
So Faye, do you have any input on this subject? And do you personally have experienced anything because you're Asian?
Well, thanks, Zephyr. Zephyr's bringing me a drink. So, yeah, I live in an area with very, very few Asians. So I really stick out like a sore thumb in East Texas. I'm like one of the few that is not actually working at an Asian restaurant or something like that. So, but I don't experience racism in the way that most people, imagine, right? Racism is supposed to be like people hate you. They want you to stop talking your language in front of them. They want you to, like leave if you don't like it here. There's like sort of stereotypes of what racism is supposed to be like. And the problem with Asian racism is, of course, it doesn't fall into all of the same categories as racism against this, maybe Black people or other brown people or whatever. It's kind of different. And so for me, actually, I get a lot of very positive, I get a lot of kind of people expect me to not cause any trouble. They expect me to behave a certain way that's maybe not actually very, very similar to my actual personality, or like I'm actually was brought up in the United States, and so when I open up my mouth to speak and everything, and I have more American style thoughts and everything. But the thing that I'm really concerned about right now is that there seems to be a concerted effort to actually create some kind of Asian, menace type of thing. China, it's all about the Chinese government and about how the Chinese government is creating all these dangers for us. Every problem we have, we can blame it on them. We're going to sue China to find it, to fix this coronavirus. Like, how is that going to help? But that has already happened, and it happened. There's Asian prejudice against each other. So like the Indian government actually voted, and they are suing China in international court for the coronavirus. So there's this constant media narrative that China is a problem for us economically. China is a problem because they have human rights abuses. Everything is about how China is terrible. And I fear that, Taiwanese Americans and Taiwanese or Hong Kong, Hong Kong expats that are living here may be playing into that, because it's easy to get caught up with, well, our politics are different from China, so we don't like them. But I think that that's going to be the real danger here, is that we're trying to make war and we're trying to blame all of our problems on somebody else when we need to, own up to that.
Thank you. So Julia here for Yan, she has a good question. She said, for the Asian Americans, how do you feel that Yan's run changed things in the Asian American community, or for you personally? What do you think, Jack or Yunjae? You want to touch on that?
Sure. So, well, for me, when I first saw the Facebook ad, like even the thought of an Asian American person running for political office is so rare, let alone for president. Like the ad immediately caught my attention, and when Obama won and when after Trump was elected, I said to myself, it would. I never would expect an Asian American person to ever become president or even to run. Like that will never happen, right? Because, like, I think there is this. Again, it's a bit of a stereotype, but I do feel that there are Asian Americans in general. We only make up I think 4 or 5% of the entire American population, and then I do feel that maybe it's because that they're younger or more. Generally, Asians are more recent immigrants. So usually if we were born here or if we recently immigrated here, the parents are not born here, or they're not citizens and they're not politically active. And I do find that many Asian Americans that I know are not very, very engaged. So I think Yang, really changed the dynamic for me, because it really showed that an Asian American person can run as a mainstream candidate. And the way that he did it, and then his own background really made a connection to me, because it really felt for the first time like somebody like me could actually become president, born of immigrant, Asian background. He also, he also has he's from New York. He actually lives in my neighborhood. He only lives like 4 blocks away from me, and so it's like a neighbor that's literally running for president. And he plays piano. He's a Mets fan. He used to like the Knicks. So it's like not only just, and then I of course love his policy. So it's not just everything. He's like the first person I could really relate to, is like somebody I know or somebody who is like me can actually become president. So that was a real game changer for me. And I think that's what really got me into his campaign. And him just being Asian American just made it even more compelling, because we've never really had an Asian American candidate run to the way that he did, and he made such a huge impact. So it was very inspiring for me to be part of the campaign.
Thank you. Jack, you want to say something?
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you, Yoonji, that Andrew Yang, I think currently if anybody opened up their mind, I can't see why they won't like him. You know what I mean? But they always came in with no space for Andrew Yang for this campaign. But I'm actually surprised how far he's got. Same thing as you. And I want to add that. So I came to this country when I was 10 years old. I'm 59 now, so I've been here for 49 years. I came in the middle of the winding down of the Vietnam War, and I was living literally right in the center of all these protests in Boston. And I saw if I were to take a snapshot of what it was like for me back then to now, we've come a long way. So I am fairly optimistic. I mean, I used to get beat up in school just because I'm Chinese, and at that time Bruce Lee was pretty popular, huh? And I didn't even know how to speak a word of English at that point, so it was an easy pick. But to me, discrimination for Asian, and like you said, Kevin, we're definitely not monolithic. Even within Asian, there's discrimination going on all over the place. But there was people that will discriminate you in front of you, and there's the ones that say, "Hey, yeah, you're a good friend," and then they discriminate you behind your back. No, there's opportunity. The doors don't open up for you, even though you should have been there. And those are the ones that are really hard for me. I rather people, if you don't like Chinese, they just come out and say or whatever. And we'll kind of get over. Sometimes some of the people that beat me up, we end up being best friends. Like this is, we're just talking about in the schoolyards. So I don't mind that, because that's how people get to know each other. Sure, I hate the stereotype. When I was here, I was like, okay, you're either doing my laundry or you're in a Chinese restaurant. And unfortunately, when I first came to this country, I lived on top of a laundromat, Chinese laundromat. And so I really hated that stereotype. And same thing, my parents came here, even though my dad was an engineer, we ended up having to open a Chinese restaurant just to make ends meet. So those stereotypes, I do think we've come a long way in that sense.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, let's see. I hear some kind of weird noise. And sometimes a keyboard. So, if you want to do some other activity,
I might.
You mute.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna mute myself again, because there's periodically a helicopter comes by and it's making a buzz. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So, let's see. What do I feel Asian Americans? I think Andrew Yang running is a really great sort of start in our community. I think I have never, like Jack said, like also Ranger said, I have never witnessed much of Asian person running for high offices. I think there's people running for local office, there's Asian. So it's a really great example set for us and he went really actually far. I mean, just think about. I don't remember in the last. I've been an adult and moving to the United States when I was, I mean, like 35 years ago. So I don't remember within 35 years I witnessed anything an Asian person is running and then cause so huge a pool of people following him around, like like crazy people like myself. So so I think it's a really great thing for us. And in terms of prejudice, I actually was canvassing with Jack in New Hampshire, right, Jack? And then it was a cold winter day, and sometimes in February, and Jack was cursed by a person. Jack was near his house and was about to go, canvassing. Jack, you tell the story.
Yeah, so there are definitely lots of pockets of Trump supporters in New Hampshire, and I think she felt threatened, and she literally came out, said, "Go back to China," literally yelled at us, say, "Don't take another step, you guys go back to your country." But this is New Hampshire. There are definitely pockets of like that. Again, I think a lot of time it has to do with more ignorance than anything. They're just not really exposed to other race. Especially now we got this Black Lives Matter thing. So just kind of add a little more to my story. So when I was in schoolyard, I obviously had to get in some sort of group or gang that will help protect me, have my back. So I hung out, when I was actually living in Houston, I hung out with Ecuadorians because I looked more like Ecuadorian. And when I when I was at Massachusetts, I hung out with most of the black kids because they accepted me. We had some fights, but they accepted me. But then I realized as I was growing up, not until like Black Lives Matter, that why is it I'm always fearful of police? Because they trained me to always be fearful of police. That's because it's ingrained in me as a kid,
You mean your cohort, the people that
Yes,
you were
yes.
always hanging out with? Mhm.
Yes. And it's funny how you learn these things as a childhood. You don't really know why it is that you have that fear.
Right. Okay, so we're doing great, and time-wise, I think we're cutting short. I intend to end at 5:30. Some people have to go do their things. Now, I would like to hear a little bit about Nick. You're a little bit quiet. You're certainly not Asian American. Can you say something about what is the current what do you know? Anything what we could do to help Biden to win? Do you have any input? You're so active on Twitter, you're crazy, you tweet all the time, and you know so much politics. So do you have any input? What can we do?
I really think it's important that Biden embraces the policies or something different than what Trump is talking about. I don't want Trump and Trump light. I want someone that distinguishes themselves from Trump. I want the opposite of Donald Trump. This time around, it won't be the Asian man who likes math, but we can have someone that is really in touch with the working class from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and also, lives in Delaware and can promote policies that are going to help everyday people, like something about do something about the pandemic that, Trump won't even touch, like healthcare, like the platform that the Democratic Party approved of doesn't really have anything like that. Like earn my vote. That's what I'm saying. Earn my vote. I mean, I'm going to vote for him, but I mean, earn it.
Yeah.
make it exciting for me to vote for you, or work my butt off to make sure that you get elected, like phone banking and all that. Seriously,
I thought
I know you
was it
probably didn't expect
yesterday?
me to say that, but
Yeah, I thought yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, he made a speech about the violence or something. Yeah, it was really, really good. I need to hear that. I almost feel like I need to hear that every single day. Like he says something, it's very convincing, in a very convincing, very strong leadership. Because sorry,
he's
I
very
had to
calm.
say that. I don't have fuzzy feelings towards him, no fuzzy. Boys, what do you
No,
say?
really,
Boys, what do you say?
I actually just made a video that said, okay, here's my personal 5 reasons why I'm going to vote for Joe Biden, and just put it out there. And what it comes right down to is I'm not voting for Joe Biden. I'm voting for the administration I want to fight for 4 years to get justice and peace, like literal peace. We need to simmer down. International stage, we're a joke. We're trying to create a culture war with China, with the Middle East, with certain demographics of the Middle East. These are the good guys, these are the bad guys. I'm done with that narrative. This community is, let them self-govern. Stop trying to control everyone else's narrative. It's not our place. We're not the world police. And I'm worried about so I said, I'd rather fight Joe Biden than Kamala Harris, because at least they can be reasoned with, kind of. They can at least be socially pressured. Like, Trump is the immovable idiot. He's like a statue of ignorance that you can't move. There's not a high enough force of wind to make him budge an inch. Biden can be pushed over a little bit, I think, with the right narrative. We can pressure from the outside in. Trump only changes from within if he chooses to, if it benefits him and his long-term scheme to con us out of more money. But at the same time, I just had a guy on that really convinced me that I should be voting third party, because I know, Jack, trust me, I'm struggling with it. But
Jack is this. Faye is this.
But he made good points. I understand your point, but Trump is more dangerous than Joe Biden. He goes, the duopoly is the danger. I was like, it is long term. But like this November, Trump is the most dangerous human on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. And he's like, well, Joe Biden is the lesser two evils. You still get evil. I'm like, yeah, that's very lazy thought, though. It's a very lazy way to approach it. I'm not voting, because I voted third party in 2016. I feel really a lot of guilt on that, because I live in Michigan, a swing state, and he won Michigan by just a couple thousand votes. And I was one of those people that says, screw this entire system. I'm out. I'm going to vote third party. And this person never even tried to earn my vote either, but I'm going to give it to him anyway, because it's by default, it's not you two. And it's kind of like I'm struggling with that idea of, should we stick it to the DNC? But at the same time, that endangers everyone I care about. Think about that. I want to stick it to the DNC. Is it worth, I know it's not. This is rhetorical, just so you guys know. Is it worth risking everything to screw the DNC, which I don't think it is? It's just, so I made a video to kind of hash that out. Okay, that's where I'm at,
Yunjie, you want to say something?
Oh yeah, can I just add to that? So yeah, I mean, I've been a lifelong Democrat. I'm not a fan of the Democratic Party. I just vote Democrat because they happen to line more with my personal views. But there are many things with the Democratic Party that I'm not really happy with, especially the way they treated Yang. But I do agree with Boyce. I think we should stick it to the DNC, but as members of the Democratic Party, so that they can actually change. I think I see a lot of Yang on Twitter, on Facebook. They're saying, we're not happy with the system. But I think this is what Yang is doing. It's just my own speculation. He's trying to really go mainstream so he can Yang the DNC, he can Yang mainstream America, so that they're going to join on board with his platform. And I think he's doing the smart thing. And I think that's what we need to do, is that we really need to become, at least the way the system is designed here in America. I mean, yes, I do think that there needs to be a more viable third party and this and that. But at the current state of how things are being done here, if we really want Yang and his policies to become further, and we're thinking the Humanity Forward route, I think we have to support, mostly Democratic candidates in the, through the Humanity Forward, and also, we need to be active as Democrats so we can get other Democrats and other all Americans on board with our platform. But it's very, very hard to do it as a third party in this country.
Yeah, and I'll say, I think Andrew getting in the cabinet position will literally yang the entire dang cabinet.
That's what I'm banking on right there.
In reason.
Me too.
I think
Our secret weapon,
I wanna
not
add-
so secret, Andrew Yang.
I do want to add something that kind of highlights, well, there's two things. One is you can go on the income movement, the activist website, the bailoutthepeople.com, and you can write a letter that I'm sure that Joe Biden will see. It's a letter to Kamala Harris thanking her for the $2,000 a month proposal. And, I think, and we think that one of the ways to get to the Democratic Party on UBI is to go through, is to, basically put pressure on them to adopt UBI as part of the Democratic Party platform, right? I wanted to just point out that that's something you can do, like as an individual, is you can go on the website and you can write one of those letters. You can also tweet about it. You can come to the events. But I wanted to just point out that the Democratic National Committee is really, lost people's goodwill a long time ago, and I do think that it's going to take a really long time for the Democrats to build it back, kind of. But hopefully, if Andrew, gets in the cabinet, or if he runs for another position, we'll have him influencing that way. But I was extremely disappointed with the Democratic National Convention. Many of us at Income Movement joined into some of the the streams from the Democratic National Committee. They had these different sessions. They call them caucuses, and they had one on poverty and one on women and one on this and that and what have you. And they disabled any interactive chat. So how are you going to say that you're the party of the people and you're the anti-oligarch and the anti, you're trying to position yourself as the party of the people and the party that cares about what the people think, but then you go and you disable the chats on every single caucus. And so all you have is a bunch of talking heads that aren't receptive to the millions of people that are watching. So that was really disappointing, and it happened in caucus after caucus after caucus. Income Movement, me and some others at Income Movement had been poised to, we attended these caucuses because we wanted to flood the chat with info about universal basic income and the need for recurring cash payments and the stories, of people who are in need. And I just couldn't believe it. I was stunned.
Oh, we lost your audio. Yeah.
No, I
great,
just stopped
thank you.
talking.
I lost your audio.
Yeah.
So
No,
everybody,
it's just stunning that they did that.
yeah, thank
Yeah,
you,
Kind
Diane.
of insulting.
So you guys, this is a great discussion. And someone made a comment. Al made a comment. What if Biden did not include Yang in the cabinet? It happens. Okay, so I wanted to
That's
use this.
Surprise.
Yeah, I wanted
That's
to use
crossed
this
my
chance.
mind.
Yeah, I want to use this chance to thank people who join us in the discussion as audience. Stick with us, and thank you so much, and asking questions and comments. And then you, Yang, so great to see you. I still, Yunje, I still miss Yunje playing. Yunje, would you like to play something short? I think we're 5:30 now. Should we?
Okay, I'll
Yunji,
just play something really quick.
Yunji is a talented conductor, pianist. He plays the viola also. Can you believe that? He plays the viola. I'm supposed to play viola.
I'm supposed to get together with Ching to read some chamber music, and we plan to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just play. It's a really famous tune by Johann Sebastian Bach, and it's very reflective. It's the prelude from the Well-Tempered Clavier, Book 1 in C major. And my piano is clunking, so you'll have to. What is it?
Yoon, sorry. Before you play, can I just say, when Jack was talking about how he grew up with in Houston, you said you lived with Ecuadorians. Yeah, so when I was growing up in Chinatown, I lived in a mostly Black and Hispanic community as well. And it's funny because like the first lesson that I experienced, the first thing that I learned was how to watch out for police, how to differentiate which is a police car, what is what they call a 508 tech, a 12. So it's like, yeah, and like I didn't grow up thinking about that until like, you know, now, and you start piecing together, you're like, wow, like they are taught to fear the police. And us as like the Asian community, the first thing is like I live in the Bronx, so like when I go out and my family tells people that other Asian families that we live in the Bronx, the first thing that comes across to them is, isn't it dangerous? That's always the first question, like, don't you get robbed in the Bronx? But I've personally had nothing like that happen to me. And like my community is very nice to my family. And when we pass each other, we say hi. And yeah, so like I didn't feel that, you know, sometimes I feel like walking on the streets, like during COVID, like the beginning of COVID, I saw how like me and my mom was walking down the neighborhood and some kids were like judging us, like, oh my gosh, they're Chinese, they might have coronavirus. And you can tell, and they're laughing on the side and they're just like pretending like we have it. But is also because of those misconceptions that is, you know, thrown to us in like media, that is always over-reported. Most of the bad stuff is always over-reported, and the good stuff like gets underreported, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. All right. So before Yunji plays, I have one just very short announcement, is that please consider subscribing my channel if you have not. I know many of you already have. Okay, great. Thanks so much. So let's hear Bach by Yunji.
So my piano was clunking because
it was really nice to meet you, but I need to hop off now because I'm about to go to teaching soon.
Good to see you, Faye.
Bye, boys. Bye, Nick. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Sorry for the clunking, but I hope you'll enjoy it anyways. Okay.
Bravo. Bravo. I know we're over
Bravo.
time.
That was fantastic.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It sounds really good. It's not too tingy, you know, like so. This is my 5-string violin. Can I just play you 30 seconds? 30 seconds?
5-string.
That's beautiful.
I'll try to do a lower register
Yeah.
because you went to too high. And it's very, you know, whiny. I have a very, very short piece.
Beautiful. I heard a sparkle sound. What was that sparkle at the end?
That was lovely.
That's
Oh, thank you.
perfect. That's perfect.
Thank you. Yeah,
Awesome.
I just wanted.
Awesome.
Yeah, you guys, maybe you can do me a favor. Is say Ching practicing. I never practice. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible young man.
I'm gonna text you every day.
Maybe Jack says, "Hey, Ching, did you practice?" Thank you so much. This is a lot of fun. You know, we should do more often, huh? Like maybe every 6 weeks, we should at least get together. You know, right?
I love it.
We used
That's a good idea.
to see each other much more often. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
anybody,
totally.
anybody have anything else want to add on? Anything we did not talk about it, or any important things? Want to make
Just one quick question for Diane. Do we have any media coming for the income movement march on the September 19th, on the 19th?
So we don't have any media confirmed yet. What I would love it actually. You know, if you guys, I know that you guys every neighborhood kind of has its own little media newspapers and things, and if you guys wouldn't mind, if I'm able to send something to Ching about the march, if you would kind of take a few minutes to send it to whichever your neighborhood paper is, if you have a neighborhood rag, if you have stuff like that.
We know Channel 1 reporter, right? Nick?
Yeah.
We know
Yes.
Channel. Yeah. What's her name?
Emily.
Yeah. So
Emily.
maybe Emily. Yeah. Send me a what do you call press release?
Yeah, and an
So
image.
I'll send to her. Yeah, I sent to her.
Yeah.
That
And also, like, you know, I know, like, the West Side has its own little paper. I don't know how they're doing in COVID, but the West Side has a paper. Battery Park has a paper. So the Bronx has local papers. So wherever you are, you could, if you just take a second to attach it to an email and send it to those papers, you know, you never know. We might get something. So that would be awesome if you could do that. And, of course, it'd be great to see everybody September 19th. Yoon, you're coming, right? You're going to ride?
Yeah, I'll
You're
definitely
gonna-
do that, yeah. Mhm.
I'll have
Excellent.
to-
And I know Ching's coming.
yeah.
So
I
Yeah.
have to figure out what to do with filming because on the bike I don't know how to do that.
right. I'm working on that for you. I sent an email
Really?
today. I'm trying to get you
Oh,
an
yeah?
answer. Yeah.
Oh, it would be nice to have
We're
like
gonna
a gold
seeing how
camera.
to resolve what-
We'll do what we can.
Oh, I know. I can have someone like ride a bike and then or maybe a bike has like 3 wheels and in the back and then I can sit in the back of that person and then filming it. Something like that.
That might work.
3-wheel bike.
We'll look into it. We got a little bit of time. We'll get on it and see what we can muster up for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Diane,
Thank you.
Are you on Facebook, Diane?
I'm on
Yes.
Facebook. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Diane Pagan.
Okay, I couldn't find you, but I'll try again.
You might have misspelled my last name. It happens a lot, but I think you can see it on the. Maybe you can see it on the screen.
P-A-G-E-N?
P-A-G-E-N, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm on Twitter also.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the most important thing to be informed about the march, follow us on Twitter, income_movement.
Okay. If I drive from New Hampshire, can I borrow somebody's bike?
Yeah, I have. I have.
Figure something out.
I have bike.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, I have 2 bikes.
Excellent.
And at least I can lend you one. You know? Yeah. Okay. Great. Trumper for Yan's there. Trumper for Yan. Trumper for Yan is about it.
Better late than never.
I actually invited Trumper for Yan. Dennis. Hi, Dennis. So I actually invited him on his YouTube channel, but probably he didn't see it or something, right? So next time we'll invite Trumper for Yan. Okay. All right. So you guys, yeah, so great to see you. Stay healthy, safe.
Keep pushing the message of basic income, especially with October 1st coming up. You know, I'm hearing through like from friends that certain companies on paper, they are telling you there's a certain amount of jobs being furloughed or erased. But like through the internal memos, those numbers are like 4 times or 5 times higher than what's being reported. So,
oh boy.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of trouble coming down the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tough times coming up very soon.
That's a residual.
Worse.
The lockdown, as a result of the lockdowns, a residual, you know, from that. What's going on? Yeah.
Right. Great. Thank you so much, you guys. Let's keep in touch and keep up the great work. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Yoon. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Jack. I really, love all of you, and let's, keep the wheel running. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keep
okay.
moving.
Thank you.
Keep moving forward.
Yeah.
All right.
moving.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Everybody.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thanks so much. Thank you.